Hello. Today we are going to practice an hour-long class. We're going to start with some CARs, controlled articular rotations, and what those are good for is joint mobility. And we're going to go from the head to toe, working on our range of motion, fully rotating each joint of the body as much as we can without discomfort. And that will help warm up our bodies, get it going for the practice. And then we can start on some Vinyasa yoga where we work on our Chaturangas. And then we move on to our Sun Salutation A, Sun Salutation B, and then a warrior flow. And then after that, we're gonna do a bit of a fiery, sweaty workout sequence where we're gonna practice this concept of dipping and then holding. And this is really good for warming up the muscles before we get deep into a pose that is more static. That's how oftentimes people get injured. They just kind of go deep into a pose without having active motion beforehand, warming up the muscles. So we're trying to warm it up and then get deep into the pose. And after that, we can further that deepening practice with a bit of yin, where you hold a somewhat deep pose for a bit longer, and it's more for decompression rather than strength building. And that will prepare us for Svasana, where we can just meditate laying down on our backs and work on our breath work, coming back into the body, opening up our awareness. And hopefully that will make you feel really good. I've been working on it all week and I'm kind of sore, so that means it's working. So that being said, we can find a seat on the middle of our mat. And for the practice, if you want to pause this video real quick and get a hand towel, the one I've got is about this size. It doesn't have to be that big, but we're gonna roll it up like this. So if you want to pause the video, do that, and then have it ready by your mat, then you can resume the video whenever you're ready. Another thing you might need is a towel or blanket that you can roll up like a bolster if you don't have one. And we can gently take a seat on it where it will slightly elevate the back of the hips up, and then we kind of drop forward in this angle where our knees can drop a bit more comfortably. And whenever you're ready, take a seat. You can pull out your glute muscles, really trying to ground down in the center of your mat in your seated position. Hands on your knees. You can let the elbows drop, relax to your side. Close your eyes. Lengthen your neck, your spine, reaching up tall with the crown of your head, and gently, slightly leaning back as if there was an invisible wall behind you. Gently tuck the chin and begin to deepen the breath, really getting a sense of your breathing right now, the quality of it, how it feels in your body. If you can get in touch with the rising, the inflation of your inhale, and then the contraction, decompressing down with your exhale. You can kind of watch your chest rise up, open up, and drop down slightly. And the more relaxed your body becomes in this position, the less your shoulders move. They kind of just stay dropped down and hip. We're going to work on some controlled breathing exercises. What we're going to do first is just a 4-count hold of the breath. And it's got 4 pieces, and you can kind of visualize it like a box, each corner. And so you can just be guided along. We're going to take a deep breath in for 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, last one, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, just drop down, resume back to normal breathing. Doing a controlled breathing exercise can be helpful in meditation because it brings your attention to the breath. And after your mind has gotten used to following the breath with full attention, then it can kind of be relaxed down back to normal breathing. And then we get in the habit where if our mind wanders, we can note it simply as thinking, coming back to the breath. And just repeating this process again and again, coming back to the breath, trying to find moments and glimpses where we haven't become attached or follow a thought. Just let it go by and try to see if there's emptiness when there's not a thought going on, when you let it pass by. If there's just a little bit of empty space. And when there's not, you just come back to the breath. Take a couple more breaths here, really noticing the quality of it and where your thoughts are. Coming back to the breath. When you're ready, slowly blink your eyes open, bringing your attention back to the room or back outside, opening up your eyes to a full panoramic perspective. Everything around you, still connected with our breath work that we just did, Before we begin to move, just observe for a moment how you're feeling. And when you're ready, we can begin to slowly roll our neck, taking each ear to its shoulder, all the way back, fully around. Working on the fullest range of motion that we can possibly do here, where we don't feel discomfort, but kind of reach that edge where we feel the pose the most. Swap directions. Try to feel all the pieces here moving. There's a lot going on that you can feel. Awesome. And then we're going to work towards the shoulders now. So we're going to shift onto our knees in this seiza position, and you can stuff that bolster, towel, blanket, whatever you've got underneath your thighs, kind of pinching it with your knees, just elevating your position here without so much knee flexion that it causes pain. We want to kind of add some padding here. And then once we've found comfort, we can kind of practice this concept of irradiation, pushing everything downward towards the earth, creating tension, stiffness, except the area of the body that we're working, which is going to be our right shoulder. So open up your right hand, fingers are wide, palm facing you. Bring it up, all the way up. Once your arm is at ear level, palm out. Bring it back, keeping the palm out. So I'm leading down with my pointer finger to keep my palm facing out. I keep out until I reach hip level, which it goes back in. We would continue to go up if we want to keep going that direction, but we're going to go the other direction now. So flip it back out, bring it behind you, all the way up, keeping your palm out, all the way back up, palm out, back in at ear level, drop it down. One more, all the way up, palm flips out, dropping it back behind you. Try and stay square to the front, just moving your shoulder. Comes out, it flips in here. Awesome, and then we're gonna raise it up, and then we're gonna take it back to the furthest point of our rotation back here, and then drop the right shoulder, and then we're gonna do some shoulder rolls here. So drop it down, forward, up, back, down, forward, up, back, down, forward, up, back, down. Now the other way, so up, forward, down, back, up, forward, back, down, up, forward, down, back, up. So drop the hand down. Readjust yourself if this knee flexion is too much. Try to add a bit of padding here. And then we're going to work on our left side. So my right hand is in a fist, pushing down. Left hand rises up, dripping out at ear level, bringing it back. Keeping palm out, leading down with your index finger. Keeping it out, and then it flips back in. We're going to swap directions, so we're going back, up, palm facing out, palm facing out, palm facing out, and then in towards you, dropping down. flips out. Leading down with the index finger to keep the palm facing out and then back in. Rising up, taking it back, furthest point of rotation. Drop the left shoulder. Up, back, down, forward. Up, back, down, forward. Up, back, down, forward, down, back, up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down, back, up, forward. Nice job. You can kind of shake out the shoulders here. Loosen them up after that, however you can. And then we're gonna rise up on our knees, removing the bolster. We're gonna work on our rib cage next. So you can make an X with your hands over your chest, and we're still practicing irradiation. So the lower half of our body is creating tension, energy towards the earth, downward, while the only part of our body that we want to move is our rib cage. So we're going to start by hunching forward, rounding the spine, and then side crunch to the right, and then open up back and center, side crunch to the left, all the way to the left, opening up the right side. Drop your right shoulder down, bring it forward back to this hunched position, and then we're flipping directions, going back to the left side crunch, opening up back to center, right side crunch, all the way forward. Last one, back to the right side, all the way back to center, left side crunch, all the way forward, hunched over, back up straight. Nice job. That is really good engagement of the core and rib cage, really opening up the obliques, kind of warming them up for the rest of the practice. Next, we are going to use our hand drag that we've got out, and we're gonna work on our hip carves. So slowly, when you're ready, make your way up to a standing position. And I'm gonna scoot this back a little bit. Tuck the hand drag underneath your knee. So find balance here and then try to create that pinch. And then you can place your hands on your hip, get a tight pinch, rotate your right leg out to the right 90 degrees. Lift your heel up as much as you can. Send your knee behind you without leaning forward too much. Come back up to center, bringing it up high, and then back behind you. Lift your heels, open up to the side, open up, drop your heel all the way out to the side, back to center, last one, out to the side. Lift your right heel up, send your right knee back behind you, reaching back without leaning forward, bringing your right knee up high as you can, grab the rag, shake it out. Awesome work on that. That is really horrible feeling sometimes, just how shocking it can be how our hips get so tight. And so this is a really good way to fire them up and get them going. And this hand drag kind of keeps our knee in the place that it needs to be. So it's really good form to include this prop when you're doing these hip carves. So we're going to go to the left side now. Okay, so we've got a good pinch out to the side. Lifting your left heel up, sending the knee behind you, not leaning forward, picking up the knee, back up to center, high as you can, setting it behind you, reaching back, lift your heel, open out to the side, drop your heel, fully opening out to the side, back to center, last one out to the left side, lift your left heel up, send your knee behind you, reach back, lift your left knee high up, grab the rag, shake it out. Nice job on that. Awesome. Now we are going to work on our knees, so take a seat. So we're gonna work on the left side first. So our right shin is down, laying, and then the left shin is up tall. Both hands hug the thigh, bring it tight into the chest. Chest up tall, neck and spine are lined up tall. Got a tight squeeze, and this is the form we want to keep throughout the motions we're about to do. So internally rotate the foot, lift the internally rotated foot straight up high as you can, externally rotate your foot, drop it down slowly with control, lift the externally rotated foot up with control, straight up, internal rotation. Keep it pinched in, drop it down. Last one, lift the internally rotated foot up high. Externally rotate your foot, drop it down with control. Good. Get a tight squeeze again. We're going to point our left foot and draw circles with our big toe, only moving our ankle and feet here. So draw slowly if you can, and fluidly with control. It's much harder than it looks. And then swap directions. Nice. Other side. Tight hug. Point your right foot. Internally rotate the point. Raise it up straight as you can. Externally rotate your right foot, dropping it down with control. Keeping your chest pinched in. Lift the externally rotated foot straight up. Internally rotate your foot. Drop it down with control. Last one, lift the internally rotated foot straight up. Externally rotate. Dropping it down with control. Tight pinch, knee to chest, foot circles. Only working on our ankles and toes and foot moving. Practice playing with both sides here. And see if you can slow it down. Good. Awesome. And then we're going to make our way to standing. Work on our toe yoga so we can step on the little toes, our left foot, by taking our right foot, the heel, kind of pressing down on the little toes. So the left big toe can be lifted up high as you can. And then do the other part. So you're stepping on the big toe, lifting the little ones up. Then we're going to work on our other side, so same thing. This is really good for plantar fasciitis, or if you have any issues with your Achilles heel, anything like that. This really helps our foot stability because it makes us work on the outside mobility of our feet and our toes. So we're lifting up high as we can here, dropping it down, lift both big toes up now. And when we work on creating more stability in our feet, that means we need to have more reactivity in our feet. That means working on our toes going in all directions, stabilizing our foot, rather than our weight just being bared in the midline. We need the outside reactivity of our feet, and so this is good for that. Big toes down, little toes up. Nice. Drop it down, wiggle them out. Really try to wake up the toes, foot, soles of our feet. Nice. And then we are going to work on our chaturangas now. This is a really fundamental principle to almost all of yoga, especially Vinyasa. So we can get started in a tabletop position. And you want to check that your hips are over your knees, got active toes. My shoulders are over my wrists. Fingers are wide apart, index finger pointing forward. Now that we're in a good position, lift the knees off the mat, push through your heels, drop your hips down. Make sure your hands are shoulder width distance. Bend your elbows, chaturanga down, control, slide up for upward facing dog. Dropping the hips, swimming the chest through the shoulders, looking up. Drop the knees, send your hips back, active toes, keeping the knees bent. Push into downward facing dog. Melt your chest towards your thighs, pushing into your legs, and then straighten your legs for downward facing dog, dropping your heels, melting towards your thighs. And then we shift forward, back to plank position, chaturanga down, upward facing dog. Drop the knees, send the hips back, active toes, keep the knees bent as you push into downward facing dog. Melt your chest towards your thighs, then straighten the legs and drop the heels, lifting the tailbone up high. Shifting forward, last chaturanga here. We're gonna bend the elbows, upward facing dog, opening up the chest, dropping the knees, send your hips back, active toes, keeping the knees bent, straightening the legs for downward facing dog. Deeply bend the knees, look at your hands, jump up, halfway lift, lengthening the spine, lengthening your neck, forward fold. Slowly rising up, arms come all the way up, back to heart center. Take a big breath here. Dropping the hands to your side, raising your hands all the way up. Hands come together for prayer position and then wide apart. Dive forward, leading with your chest. As much as you can, lead with your chest. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Lengthening the spine. Place your hands on the mat. Jump back. Chaturanga down. Upward facing dog. Hips back for downward facing dog. Deeply bend the knees. Look at your hands. Jump up. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rising up. Hands all the way up. Coming together. Prayer center. Back down to our heart space. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. That was Sun Salutation A. We're going to work on our Sun Salutation B. Drop both hands to your hips. Rise your hands up. They come together for a moment. Let your hands come wide apart. Dive down, leading with your chest. As you come down, your fingers graze the side of your yoga mat, coming up for chair pose. Deeply bend the knees. Look up. Tuck the tailbone in. We're strong here. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Hands come together. Heart center. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Place your hands on the mat. Jump back. Gonna chaturanga down. Upward facing dog. Drop the knees, send the hips back. Downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg up high, keeping the hips square. Bending your knee, bringing it in close to your nose. Stepping through to your hands. Fingers are in tripod. Fingertip position for stability, and then you rise up. Warrior one. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Open up to warrior two. Flare your right knee out to your pinky edge. Chest up tall, drop the shoulders down. Look over the right middle finger. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Forearm drops on the thigh. Left arm reaches overhead, looking past the left armpit. Left arm reaches behind you, grabbing for the left thigh. Right arm reaches back behind you, looking past your right armpit. Right arm cartwheels down to your right foot. Left arm straight up, straightening the legs, twisting, rotating up towards the sky, looking at your palm. Left hand cartwheels down, squaring back up in this runner's lunge. We're gonna float back the right foot, lifting it up high, shift forward, bend the elbows, chaturanga down, upward facing dog. Open the chest, drop your knees, send your hips back, active toes, press into your downward dog, straighten the legs, drop your heels. Take a big breath here. Left leg up high, high as you can. Deeply bend your left knee, bringing it close to your nose. Stepping through on the left side. Tripod fingertips. Rising up. Warrior one. Opening. Warrior two. Forearm drops to the front thigh. Right hand reaches overhead, looking past the right armpit. Right arm goes up, cartwheeling behind the back, reaching for the left thigh. Left hand reaches up behind you. Your vision is looking past your left armpit. Left hand cartwheels down to the outside of your left foot. Right hand up towards the sky, straightening your legs, looking up at your right palm. Cartwheel your right hand down, framing the left foot back to this runner's lunge. We're going to float the left foot back up high, shift forward, bend the elbows, chaturanga down, upward facing dog. Open the chest, drop your knees, send your hips back, active toes, downward facing dog. Deeply bend the knees, look at your hands, big jump, halfway lift, bend the knees, chair pose, tuck in your tailbone, look up, big breath in, big breath out, forward fold. Rise up, hands all the way up to the sky. We come together, dropping back down to heart center. Take a big breath in here. Slow exhale. We're going to ground down the left, and we are going to make our way to the middle of our mat, feet wide apart. And then we're going to heel toe a little bit further. And then deeply bend the knees. And when you bend them, you flare your knee out to the pinky edge of each side, really opening up each side of the hip. So once you're in this position where you can kind of straighten your arms and sink down and find your max position here, then we're gonna practice irradiation. So we're squeezing in, sending our energy down towards the earth, 10 dips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Straightening back out, toe, heel, little bit wider than hip width distance. Bend your knees, find your way into Malasana, using the elbows to push apart the knees. Hands drop down to the center, pushing up, looking up, tall spine, tall neck, dropping the hips down as you push the knees apart. Breathe here, deepen your breath. If you're feeling it intensely in your hips, see if you can send your breathing there. Breathe into your hips. Gonna gently make our way out of Malasana, hands on the ground, lifting the hips, shifting to the right. We're gonna come into this tabletop position, checking that our hips are over our knees, Shoulders are over our wrists, fingers wide apart, active toes. Lift the knees off the mat, push through your heels, drop your hips down. And then you've got an option here. We're gonna do one arm hold, and you can do it with your arm up or in this plank position. I'm gonna stay in this plank position. So left arm up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side, right hand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come back up to plank. And then we're gonna work on dipping our elbows down. So you can actually make a little target line of where you want your elbows to touch. Make it a little thick. And then try and get over it where you think your elbows will drop down. Okay, we're gonna do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And then we're gonna send our right or our left foot up, all the way up to this runner's lunge with the back knee down. You can keep the knee down, or if you want an extra bit of challenge, lift that back knee up. And then we're gonna do 10 dips, and a dip is rocking forward, dropping the hip down, rocking back, forward, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Drop down to the elbows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold on, I'm gonna fly. Woo, good job. Okay, so you can keep the elbows down. If you need to come up, you can. I'm gonna keep the elbows down, back knee down. Left arm opens up, cartwheels all the way up and back. You don't have to touch the foot. Simply reaching for it can be a lot. If you can, grab the foot, open up to lizard pose. Open your chest all the way up towards the sky. Opening further if you can. Taking a big breath here. Sending that breath all the way to the hips. Making a little bit more space for the pose. Gently coming out of it. Back to our runner's lunge. Hands back to center there. Heel toe, back to center. And then we push up. Hands to our knees. And then we walk our top foot a little bit closer to us because we need to check that our hip is over our knee and our knee is over our ankle. So once we've done that check, we're good. The back foot, so it's the right foot, it's active, but it's going to come to a point. And we're going to do 10 dips here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Drop your hip forward. You can even kind of toe, heel your way forward so you can really deepen it. Grab your foot if you can, or reach for it. Now we're gonna send this back foot, the right foot, closer to our glutes. Pulling it in gently, working the quads and hamstrings here. Bringing it in, dropping the hips. Keeping your body square to the front of your mat. Try to let that right quad really open up here. Gently release, hands back, left knee back, tabletop position. And if your knee was kind of feeling it on that one, like you'd like some more padding, now is the time to kind of add a little bit of knee padding if you would like. So we are in tabletop position. Right foot goes up, framing the hands. And then we can kind of get comfortable here. And then we're gonna lift that back knee up here. And we're gonna do some dips. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, try to get a little bit deeper, 8, 9, deep as you can, 10. Drop the back knee, drop down to your elbows. And then we're gonna see if we can reach back, open up, reach back, lizard pose. Try to open up here, rotating up towards the sky, opening up. You can flare your right knee out, give you a little more hip space. Gently come out of lizard, back up. And then you can heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, a little bit closer to you. Make sure that your heel is underneath your knee, and then move your hip for it to be over your knee. Back leg, back left foot, make sure you get your balance here. It can be a little wobbly. It's active, that back foot, it's active, and then bring it to a point. 10 dips here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Drop the hips down, hold. Give it a reach. If you can grab both, bring your left heel close to your glutes. Dropping the hips down, looking up. Breathing into the left quad, opening it up, making space to go a little bit deeper here. Gently let go. Coming back to this runner's lunge with your knee down. Right foot back, both knees down. And then we can windshield wiper our legs out to the left. So we can sit down and then we can swing them out in front of us. Sitting in the center of our mat. I'm gonna face the camera for this. You don't have to, but you're gonna straighten the legs here. Really find a good seat. Tripod fingertips here to really have good stable position here. Pushing down, dropping the shoulders, lengthening the spine. Both feet are active. And then pointing with the right, we're gonna do 10 dips with the right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold. 1, 2, 3, chest up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice job. Shake it out. Good job on that. That is a burner. Let's get back to active feet. I'm going to point the left side now and do 10 dips. Tall chest, tall spine, tall neck. Drop the shoulders down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shake it out. Breathe into your quads and hamstrings. Nice job. We're going to make our way to tabletop position. And then your hips over your knees. And this time, instead of going back into child's pose where we fold our hips over our feet, we're going to keep our butt up in the air, tailbone up, high as you can. Don't let your hips fall forward or back. Just keep them straight up. And then walk your hands all the way out. And you can set the towel where you think your head's going to land. And then you're walking out. So you want your forehead on the mat. And you want to reach far up as you can. And then stick your tailbone all the way up in the air, opening up the rib cage in front of your body. Try to breathe into where you feel it most. Gently come back to center, walking your hands back. And then you can adjust your towel. Maybe you need it up a little bit more, but we're gonna drop down to our belly and bring the left knee up, sliding the hip back. So we're opening up the left leg to a 90-degree-ish position. And then your right foot can lay flat down. And then you can adjust your towel. And the instinct is to look towards the knee, but we're going to look away from the knee. So we're looking towards the right side. You can close your eyes and try to drop your hip here. Shouldn't be too much of a struggle. This is just to decompress all the work we did in our hips. Take a moment here to just breathe, check in, see how you're feeling. And drop any tension you might be holding. Let it go. Gently bring the left knee back, straight in center. Right knee comes up, other side, looking to the left. Dropping the right hip, letting it become heavy. Dropping any tension we might be holding on to and letting go. Surrendering completely all of our weight down to the earth, melting into the ground. Gently bringing the right knee bent. Both elbows press down and come back closer to you for the Sphinx pose. Take your right arm straight out like a T. Left hand is tripod fingertips to roll your body to the right side, opening up the left hip. So my left foot is behind my right leg. And I'm pushing back with these fingers to open up. Pushing my weight towards my right shoulder, opening up the left hip. Gently make your way to the other side. Fluid, gentle movements here. Left arm straight out, rolling to the left side body, opening up the right hip. Right hand pushes you back. Rest your head here. Open up and twist. And take a deep breath. Gently roll back to your belly. Push yourself up, back to almost a child's pose. And then you can kind of just swing around however you'd like. We're going to make our way to Shavasana, but we're not just going to slump down. We're going to go down with control. Slowly. And then give everything a tight squeeze. Tight squeeze in the center. Squeeze the knees to your nose. Tight, tight as you can. Let it all go open and out. Feet fall naturally to each side of the mat. Chest drops down. Forehead muscles relax and smoothen out. Relaxing your jaw. Maybe your tongue falls down from the roof of your mouth. Relaxing your throat, your collarbone, rib cage, stomach. Completely relaxing into the rhythm of your breath. Each inflation of your inhale, you feel yourself floating up, and each contraction, decompression, exhale, bringing you down. Try to come back into the subtle sensing of your breath. Rising up, pushing down. And if you really need to feel the inflation and the deflation, you can put one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach. See if you can feel your breathing a bit more here. Gently make your way to the right side of your body, using your right arm as a head pillow. Keeping your eyes closed, gently push out to a seated position. Slow motions, crisscross, dropping your shoulders. Coming back to the breath again. Gently blink your eyes open, bringing your attention back to the room. Still with your breathing, check back in. Before moving, just observe how you feel. Maybe a bit more calm and relaxed, limber. Just note whatever it is that you're feeling. And give yourself some gratitude for giving back to yourself in this way, taking the time to move your body, still your mind, and just commit to the practice. That is one of the best things we can do right now, is just use these tools that have us come back to a grounded sense of who we are, a bit more of a state of calm when things are so busy and can be so stressful. So if you can, try to come back to the sense of your body, the sense of your breath throughout the day, especially if you are feeling stressed. Try to see if you can feel your fingertips, your breath, and kind of create this open awareness with this panoramic perspective, this vast openness of your mind. And I think that will be a calming tool for you. So thank you so much for taking the time. Take care. Thank you so much.